Got a muskie, I think. Oh my gosh. What the heck is going on here? Are you kidding me? I put on a little jig, you guys, and I got a muskie. He's probably gonna break me off. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? He smoked it. He smoked it. Try to get him before he freaks out. Got him. Are you kidding me? Well, that's how you end the year, you guys. Ha ha! Look at that. Oh my gosh. Little guy, but super cool. Super cool. Alright, you guys. Last day out this year. It's December 19th. And I knew it was going to be warm today, so I figured I'd go out, give it a try. And I was just about to leave in about a minute. And I just caught this guy in a little jig. A little walleye jig. It's probably about 32, maybe. I'm not gonna measure him, just want to get it back. But it's a nice little muskie. Lots of fun. Pretty sweet. Gonna let it go. Yep, this thing is bigger than I thought. Almost ready. Almost ready. Beautiful fish. Very pretty fish. Almost ready. There he goes. Oh, he came right back at me. Alright, you guys, that was pretty cool. I was just about to leave this spot. I'd been here for about an hour, almost exactly an hour, and I didn't get any action at all on my musky stuff. I casted my musky baits for about 45 minutes, just wasn't feeling it, so I took out my walleye rod and decided to go really small. I don't know, it didn't even take me 10 minutes, and that fish, what had happened was it hit my little minnow. I had a walleye rod with 8-pound braid, 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I just had a little 2-inch fake minnow jig on there, and it hit it, and I set the hook, but immediately I could tell it was hooked funny. And what had happened was I had hooked the fish on the outside of its cheekbone, so it actually must have over pursued. Pretty sure it was a swing and a miss. I felt the hit, but I set the hook, and there was like a split second of like, it felt like slack line, it felt like nothing, and then I felt weight, so I think it just swung and missed. And then I got it right in its cheek. It was on the outside cheekbone right below its eye. So I can't believe it didn't break me off. Hopefully you saw that. It was alligator rolling like crazy. And my line, my 8-pound braid was just wrapping around it. And I thought for sure it was gonna break off, especially when I hand lined it and I kind of grabbed it. There was a bunch of branches in the water where I was standing. I don't know if you could see that, but it was pretty risky, pretty scary. It was full of brush. I thought for sure it was just gonna roll and snap my line and take my jig, but I gilled it pretty quick and she calmed down right away. Usually when it's cold like this, they're not too feisty once you grab them. So nice little mid 30-inch muskie, great way to end the year. I got a little more time before I gotta go to work, so I'm gonna see if I can get one more. It is December 19th. Today is the last day we're gonna have of warmer weather. In about 3 days, we're gonna be in the negative temps, below zero, which is pretty crazy. But it warmed up the last 2 to 3 days. We got this little warm spell here in December. It's like 39 degrees. But I just knew I would have a legitimate shot at catching a muskie on the river. And so I told my wife, I said, hey, I gotta sneak out real quick before work today and give it one last try to see if I can land one more muskie before the season ends. I'm really glad I came down here. I still got a little bit of time, so I got about 2 hours left to fish. As you just saw, I just stuck a mid 30-inch muskie, a little chunky guy. And it's funny because you can tell in the video, I didn't have my net with me. That's because I fished for about 45 minutes with my musky rod, with my musky gear, no luck, didn't get any bites, didn't get any follows. And so I was about to leave and switch spots, and I decided to cast with my walleye rod and a walleye jig just for a little bit before I left, because this time of year the muskies can be very picky, and a lot of times on the river they want really small stuff. So I grabbed my walleye rod. As you see in the video, I didn't have my net with me because I had put everything away. I'd already put everything away in my car. All I had with me was my rod, my camera, my GoPro, and my pliers. So I had to hop into the water, hand land. I just had to gill this fish and land him in the water, but fortunately it calmed down quite a bit right before I grabbed it, so I got lucky there. But once again, guys, you always hear me talking about the weather, paying attention to the weather. It varies depending on the time of year. Obviously, we got all the different seasons here in Wisconsin, so every month, you know, you're dealing with different conditions. But if you pay attention to the air temps, if you pay attention to the clouds, if you pay attention to the rain, if you pay attention to the wind, all that stuff can really factor into your chances of maximizing and trying to catch a fish. I've barely done any musky fishing this fall, but I had the morning open, I was following the weather, and I just knew, I had a feeling, I had a hunch. I said, man, it's gonna warm up a little bit. I should be able to get one to go, and fortunately I did. So enjoy and stay tuned, because hopefully I'm gonna get another one here before I head home. Guys, I got a big muskie on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Stay on, buddy. Stay on, buddy. Stay on, buddy. I gotta get down here. 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 Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There you go. Run. It's okay. Shh. 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 Alright, well that works. That works. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is crazy. This is a big fish. I gotta get him. I gotta get him. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. Good fish. Holy crap. Can't see. Can't freaking see what I'm doing. The sun is in my eyes, you guys. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm stuck in the mud. Got him. Got him. Holy crap, guys. I don't even know how much of that you saw. I was on a bridge. I ran down the bridge. I threw my net down the bridge over the ledge. I don't even know what's going on. But I just stuck a nice muskie. All right, guys, I'll be back. I gotta figure this out. He's missing an eye, I think. All right. All right. All right. And if you want to do it the wide, yeah. You got the whole fish in there? I'm probably gonna sink in about 3 inches or 3 foot of mud here, but all right, guys. Oh, second muskie today. Season's about to end. It's getting real cold. This fish is ready to go. Calm down, girl. Nice low 40-inch muskie. Appreciate you guys helping me out. We got these two guys here. I don't know what's your names. Jason and Dan. They were driving over the bridge while I landed this fish. They were kind enough to help me get a picture and film it. Here we go, you guys. It's gonna be like 0 degrees in about 3 days here in Wisconsin, so this is my last chance for sure. This fish is blind in one eye, but still going strong. Under the ice, that's kind of cool. That's cool. You guys can see that fish under the ice there, though. That's how cold it is here. What is up, you guys? The last time you saw me, I told you I was gonna try to catch one more muskie before I had to head to work. I'm heading to work right now, but I just caught a muskie on my last cast. It was pretty sweet. I went to my second spot in the morning, didn't see nothing. I fished it for about 15 minutes and I had to get going. I had my alarm set so I wasn't late to work. I decided to throw one last cast, and once again I started off with musky tackle and then switched down to some smaller gear. This time I actually had my bass bait caster and I put on a 3-inch fake minnow jig, like a walleye jig. And the reason I did that was because I was actually fishing from a bridge, so I needed a little more strength in my rod and in my line. So I grabbed my bass rod, a 7-foot medium heavy rod, bait caster with, I believe it has 40-pound braid on it, at least 30. I think it's 40-pound braid though, and a little 27-pound leader on it, 12-inch, 27-pound leader, titanium leader that is. And just like I said, a 3-inch minnow with a jig. I think I had a 1/8 ounce jig, and threw out about 6 or 7 casts with nothing. And I was like, man, I gotta go. I checked my phone for the time, and I had about 2 minutes before I had to leave, before my alarm was gonna go off. And so I said to myself, all right, one more cast. And I wasn't recording. I wish I had been recording. I just didn't think I was gonna get bit. But I threw out my last cast and I was letting my bait sink to the bottom of the river. And right when I reeled in my slack line, I felt tension. And so I set the hook just out of habit. And I immediately felt weight, but it was coming towards me because I was standing downstream from this bridge. So it felt funny at first. I just felt weight and I felt my line coming towards me, and for a second I thought I had a big clump of dead weeds or maybe a stump or, you know, like a branch or something. And all of a sudden as I'm looking down, I'm like, what the heck? I see this musky head shaking up from the bottom. It was so cool. I was about 15 to 20 feet up on this bridge above the river. The fiasco it was for me to get down this bridge, and I chucked my net over the ledge onto some rocks, and it was pretty comical, but it was a nice fish. A quick shout out to the guys that stopped by and helped me out. Jason and Dan, you guys rock. They were driving over as I net the fish in their truck, and they stopped to help me get pictures and to film the release. So thanks again, you guys. That's a wrap, you guys. This is probably gonna be my last day fishing in 2017 on open water. In fact, I know it's gonna be, unless the weatherman is completely wrong, which they usually are. But in about 3 to 4 days, we're supposed to have single digit, if not below 0 temps. It's December 19th, and by Christmas, it's gonna be super, super frigid cold here in Wisconsin. So that's why I snuck out today. I knew this was gonna be my last chance. It's about 41 degrees right now. It's really nice out. I'm sweating, actually. It just keeps warming up. But I'm really glad I snuck out this one last time. It's only 11:30 a.m. I'm already on my way home. I'm on the road. I got to get to work here in about an hour. But it was a good morning. I only had 2 bites, but I landed both of them, and they were 2 muskies. You know, shore fishing, southern Wisconsin, any day you catch 2 muskies from shore is a really good day. Nothing real big, lower to mid 30-inch fish, and then the last one I just caught was a nice low 40-inch fish. Chunky, it was healthy, but it was really beat up. Pretty common on river fish, especially this particular area I was fishing. These fish get beat up pretty bad. It's really unfortunate. A lot of these fish, you can tell they get foul hooked and they get snagged, actually. They get snagged on purpose. I've talked to the game wardens here over the years, and they catch a lot of guys running crankbaits over them in shallow water and trying to snag them, hook them in the back, hook them on the tail. It's really stupid stuff, but yeah, that's a wrap for my 2017 muskie season. It's probably a wrap for my entire open water season. So got a couple more walleye edits to get out, and gonna do some tutorials, sharing some info with you guys, teaching you guys some of the techniques I use, giving you some tips and pointers for bass, for walleye, for muskies, you name it. And then hopefully late March, early April, we'll be here soon, and I'll be casting for walleye again before you know it. So thanks for watching, you guys. Stay tuned, and like always, just keep casting.